Hi, part 2 of the piped shoulder bag. I forgot to tell you in the last one that I'd actually stuck the wad into this. I use the stick and spray, which is the orange can for fabric. Make sure it's for fabric, and then give it a quick press, and that gives it a nice firm adhesion to the fabric. So I've done all my pleats on the 2 pieces of the main bag, and I've done it on the lining as well. And I've also done my pocket on the back, and I've sewn my piping on this piece. I'm going to show you on this piece how to do it. I've also put my lining together. Putting that together is exactly the same as on the bag, so you'll see it when I do that. So we're going to put the piping around the curve on here and across the top, and then sew the top of the bag to that. The noise you can hear is Molly. She's come to join us. So I'm just putting the raw edges together as we did on the others, and I'm going to follow it round. So just do it slowly so you can follow the curve of the fabric. I'm just sewing on top of the stitches that we sewed to make the piping. It would be nice if you made a bag to match whatever outfit if you're going to a wedding or something. You can make a nice bag to match this way. It'd look very classy. Just keeping those raw edges lined up all the time. Slowly follow it round the curves till you get to the end. So I'm going to cut that off there. I'm going to start from the other end because there's a join there. I might get away with missing it. So what we're now going to do is we're going to go across the top where the pleats are. So we're going to put the piping across the other piping and sew along the stitch line of the pipe. You might just need to help it over that piping there. Keep the raw edges together. Help it over that little bit there. There we go. See, if you've got a walking foot, you can do it easier with that, but you'd need a walking foot that had a zipper part attached. I'm not sure if they do those. So just sew all the way across the top, keeping those edges lined up till you get to the other end. Again, just a little pull to get across that lump, and then cut off the excess piping. I think we're finished with the piping for now, so I will I'll leave that foot on. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sew the top of the bag along the top here. Again, we've stuck the wad into this. I've actually stuck the wad into all pieces, so if I forget to tell you that, I've done that. We're going to line this up across the top, turn it over so we can see the row of stitches that we've just done, because if we sew along that row of stitches, we know we're not going to have any stitches showing on the other side. Just line up the edges again. And we're sewing over quite a few thicknesses now, so just take it slowly. Right over to the other side, and then back tack, and take that out. So now we've got the side of the bag, which is quite a long piece, and I've stuck my wad into it. I have pieced it. It's fine to piece it. It's not going to move because it's stuck with the stick and stay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put this right side together, but I want to be able to see where my stitch line was. I'll just cut off that excess there. So I'm going to turn it to the back so I can see my stitches, line it up at the top, and sew all the way around. sew till you get to the stitches, and then follow that row of stitches that you did before. Again, as you did with the flap, do it slowly, lining up those edges. You don't want the fabric to curl inwards. This is where you can see the bag coming together. Once you've got the side on, and the other side you've got almost your bag. So line them up, follow those stitch lines right to the other side. You can pin if you prefer. Don't worry about mine being longer, I didn't measure it out, I just cut a full strip. So I'll cut off that excess. So just keep those lined up. And then back tack at the end. Take that out. I'm going to trim off that excess there. So when I turn that round now, you can see you've got your side of the bag with the piping in there. So now we need to sew the other one on. So this one I did off air, and I've got my pocket on. I'm going to sew the piece across the top, and then we can sew that to the other side. So exactly the same. Follow that row of stitches. Line it up. Molly's getting fed up watching, she's gone. She's back. So all the way across to the beginning. Just a little back tack at the end. Again, just cut that off. I didn't measure, I just roughly guessed. Right, so now we've got the back of the bag there. We need to sew the side bag to the back. But again, I want to see that row of stitches, so I'm going to turn it over and do it from this side. Line up the top there and start stitching. Keep the row edges even. Just make sure again that that doesn't curl inwards. And so all the way around. Keep it straight there. Trying not to get my hands in the way, but they may block your vision at certain points. I have to hold it flat. Just hoping I'm explaining enough for you. Just keep it lined up. Go. All the way around. And then we're going to sew the straps on. As long as you sew along that row of stitches, your stitches won't show on the right side. Line up to the top, back tap, and then take that out. So that is the main part of your bag there. Right, so we're going to sew these straps on. So So the piece where you've got the tuck is going to go to the side facing you here. So that's the right sides together. We're going to sew these into the back side. I'm going to keep my zipper foot on for now. Just sew over that row of stitches. Do a few rows of stitches over this, because this is going to take all the weight that us ladies put in our handbags. So do a few rows back and forth to give that extra strength. Take that out. So now the other piece, make sure you haven't got it twisted, is going to go onto the other side there, and again you've got the raw edge there. Put those together and a few rows under your machine on your stitches. Back and forth. So there's your straps attached. Tuck all those inside. And what we're going to do is we're going to put our flap on now. So this is the flap. The back is the one with the pocket. So if you look inside, we've got the pocket there. And the back of this is the, hang on, let me think about this. The lining goes on there. So this is the back here, right, that's how it goes. So, I'll just move my scissors because they're falling off. Tuck, in fact turn it to the right side, this is the back, because that's going to come over to the front. So that needs to be sewn to the back where the pocket is, which is there. So tuck that inside there. Might be better to pin it here. Piping goes right up against where the strap is, so I'm just going to place a pin in there. This is going to all get sewn across the top, and at the other side, the other bit with the piping is going to go against the other strap there. Put a little pin in there to hold it in position, and then we're going to try and stretch it to ease in there. So hold it, open it out, take that pin out. Now we know where we're sewing. Pull the lining of the flap back so you can see where you're stitching, and do a couple of stitches. Ooh, didn't like that, broke my needle. Quickly change it. These things happen, so just make sure you discard all the needle. Get a new one. There we go. So quickly just pop your needle in, tighten it up, needle thread it, and there we're back in business. Just make sure there's no bits of pin or needle stuck in here, and I'm going to open that seam out to make it a little less bulky. That should help. Right, so back again underneath, put your needle down. Yeah, it's going through this time. I think I need a new needle. I don't know about you, but I don't change them when we should. In fact, I've been doing a lot of sewing and I can't remember when I did change that needle, so... Right, so we're just going to pull this and ease it in as we stitch in. Until we get to the other side. There we go. You don't want any pleats, but you just need to have a little bit of movement in this. Definitely don't want any pleats, so I'll just feel one come in there. Just ease that in. There we go. You can actually manipulate your fabric quite a bit. Take the pin out of the end, pull the lining back. There we go, and so to the piped part again. Let's get that to about a little pleat there. Right, so that's the flap on. Now all we need to do is sew the lining in. So we put the lining right side out. That's my turning point there. This is going to go to the back in there. So we're going to stitch, join in those side seams there. We're going to stitch all the way around but not catching that flap in, so that's why you've got that bit there. We're going to start at that seam and go all the way around. I'm actually going to change my foot. If I don't get a chance to finish all this, I will do the next one where I will show you how to put the clasp in, and I will show you how to do the glasses case. So if the camera finishes, then I will see you in part 3. So what I'm going to do is just start that stitching there, right sides together, hopefully get it all done on this film. So line it up with the other side seam there, and so across the back. This is holding the flap on now. There, lining, put it away. There we go. Sorry if my hands are in the way, I'm trying to hold it and sew. So just sew into that side seam, back tack. Take that out. So that is my flap attached. Now we just need to do the front of the bag. So that is now attached here, and we've got the side seams. They're gone. So we'll just attach this, sewing through the lining and the main part, which is quite thick. So if you've got a walking foot, you could put that on. I do manage it without a walking foot on this bag, but if you wanted to, you could do. So we're just going to sew all the way across the top. Just keeping those edges level. Back to waist, well, back to where the other flap is at the other side, not where you started. You can see here where I started. So now you're going over where the strap is, so it is a little bit thick again, but because I've changed my needle, it's saying, oh, I'm okay now. Back tack. Now I'll see if we've got time to turn it through. Pull the lining out. We've got the lining through the main turning point here. Push the bag through. Pull it all through to the right side. I don't know if we've got time to put the clasp on. Maybe we have. Right, so just tuck all your lining to the inside. This is where you give it a nice good press. You can see here you've got, that's the front of your bag. The flap comes over the top. And there is your bag. So what we need to do is mark where we want our clasp to go. The easiest thing to do is to fold it in half and just finger press that on there. So I can see that's, put it under the machine about here. The clasps are in 4 parts. So you have the actual turn part, which is that one, which turns. That is the back for that. You have the front piece, which is the one that's got no grooves in, and that is the piece that goes on the inside, so the prongs come through from there and go into those grooves to hold it in. So the best thing to do is to, when you've marked the middle, lay your clasp on, get a friction pen or some such and draw around it. That's giving you a nice indication of where the hole needs to be. Now it's quite scary this, but what you need to do is cut all the way through. So just snip with a good sharp pair of scissors and snip to the outside of the marks because you don't want to see the fabric. So just snip all the way through. Making sure that you catch the lining as well. Cut it out. And then we need to do a zigzag stitch around it. But before I do that, I'm just going to show you how it fits in, because really you don't need to see me doing a zigzag stitch. It's basically just like a satin stitch all the way around there to hold it in place, or you could use some fray check. Now what you do is you put your back through there, sorry, that's the wrong way, put the back through from the front there, put that piece on at the back and fold those down. Now obviously you need to go around there first, but that's how you do it. And then for the inside, because you've left your turning gap in, mark where you need this one to go, put 2 little slits, put those through, put that on the back and then bend them in towards the metal plate. So that is the bag done. So thank you very much. There will be another one with the glasses case to follow.